Hello from New Hanover High School, Wilmington, North Carolina. Today, Sea Devil TV bringing you on-demand coverage of Cape Fear basketball as the Sea Devils return home, in quotations, and take on the Wake Tech Eagles. Hi, everybody. Chris Shima, glad to be with you here. Sorry we couldn't bring this one to you live. It's a older gym, and the internet just not working very well in here, but glad that you could check us out on demand. And we are able to bring it to you in nice, clear, high definition because we're on demand as well. So, with all the semantics out of the way, let's talk about this game and meet the starting lineups for the Wake Tech Eagles, who come in at 6-3. They're a Region 10 D2 team, and head coach Adam Wainwright starting number 0, Carnell Watkins. Number 1, Karan Clements. Number 13, Nick Johnson. Number 15, Christian Anumahi. And number 21, Eddie Volkerts. Now the starters for your Sea Devils coming in at 5-5. Ryan Matlow, 2-23-115 in his 10 seasons. Starting number 2, Zaquan Matthews. Number 3, Jarek Haynes. Number 4, Alston Davis. Number 23, Dante Tatum. And number 35, James Moore. So that's the starters for both of these teams. Both these teams have met prior. In fact, Cape Fear beat Wake Tech 88-80 back on November the 6th. Tatum had 28 points in that game. Eddie Volkerts off the bench with 26 for Wake Tech, so he gets the start here today. Wake Tech coming off a 102-60 loss at Fayetteville Tech on Monday. Meanwhile, Cape Fear, they went 2-1 in the Monroe College Invitational as the tip controlled by Wake Tech. So Wake Tech in the blue, Cape Fear are in the white. It's the first home game. Not many games here at New Hanover this year for Wake Tech as they play, for Cape Fear as they play most of their games on the road this year as the gym gets redesigned and redone on the campus of Cape Fear. So, a little bit of a different year for the Sea Devils this year, playing a lot of games on the road and starting with a lot of tough competition. We'll talk more about that as the day progresses. Alley-oop attempt looking for more was Haynes, and it's a turnover, so Wake Tech scoreless on its first 2 possessions, as are the Sea Devils. Wake Tech 0 for 2 here at the start. Wake Tech likes to get to the free throw line. They are leading Division II in free throw attempts and free throw makes, so expect to see them attack the basket. Threw it away there. Davis with the steal. Here's Tatum into the forecourt, scoops it to Matthews. Zaquan Matthews, first points on the board, and it's 3-0 in favor of Cape Fear. 18:46 left to go here in the opening half. Just underway here in Wilmington. Wake Tech averaging 91 points per game. They're plus 15.9 in rebounding. Good rebounding team. As I mentioned, Cape Fear already taking them down once this year. Clements, strong move to the bucket, and there's that attacking that we talked about for Wake Tech as the Eagles get on the board 3-2 here in the early going. Tatum into the forecourt. There's Haynes. Matthews triggers a triple. Zaquan can't get that one to go after hitting his first. Here's Watkins on the run out. Swings it to Clements. Catch and shoot for 3. Missed it long. And the rebound chased down by Matthews. Matthews had 14 in the first meeting between these two teams. Tatum had 28. He misses that shot. Follows it to the bucket. Tatum couple of fakes and gets it to go. Good hustle there by the Sea Devils. Dante Tatum, 13.5 points per game. The freshman from Cary, North Carolina. One of several new additions for Ryan Matlow this year. Zaquan Matthews, this is his first year playing at Cape Fear, but he was a redshirt last season. Watkins underneath. Shot up and in from Volkerts. Eddie Volkerts, a season high, 26 points in the first meeting between these two teams, leading the team at just under 19 points per game. 3 minutes in, 17 minutes exactly left on the clock here in this opening half. And the Sea Devils up by a slim 5-4 margin. 5 on the shot clock now. Sea Devils got to make something happen with 4. Tatum for three, rims it in. Navigating the zone, patient offense from the Sea Devils as Tatum connects from downtown. Came in shooting just 25%. Folks, let me put an asterisk. Sometimes when you're a JUCO school and you go on the road, you don't get a lot of He gets the baseline jumper there. You don't get a lot of help from the scoring. So there's a lot of games that we don't have stats for Cape Fear so far in the first 10 games of the season. So kind of keep that in mind. Right now they are on fire from downtown as Matthews connects for the second time. So some of the stats take with a grain of salt, basically, is what I'm telling you there. Watkins on the right side. Clements the bounce pass. Here's Volkert swinging it back to Watkins. The bounce pass to Volkert, splits the defenders and traveled with the basketball. He had Johnson open underneath, but shuffled his feet, so the ball will go back to Cape Fear. New additions. Parker coming over from Tennessee, where he played sparingly last year. We'll see him come in here right now for Cape Fear at the next dead ball. So Parker, a big recruit for Mantlo this year. As the three's missed in the corner, Matthews can't get it to go. So out is Tatum. Clay Parker coming in for the first time for the Sea Devils. Parker, as I mentioned, played 25 games for the University of Tennessee last year. Matthews, open look, short on the three. Ball tipped out. Clements chases down the rebound. Both these teams are pushing here in the early going, which is what we expected. Clements, though, throwing another pass away. Parker with the steal underneath. Matthews, the reverse assist to Parker. So Parker, much like we saw last year from Trey Bryant, who started at UNC Asheville, coming to play JUCO ball and kind of reset his career as the Eagles are running and gunning and Clements gets the bucket. And it's always an interesting story. Parker was at one point listed as the 5th best high school prospect in the state of North Carolina when he played in high school. Another three for Cape Fear. This time, Parker connecting on his first. So Cape Fear doubling up Wake Tech. Parker played high school basketball with Harry Giles. So he was touted. University of Tennessee not really giving him the opportunities, though, so Parker coming here, again, much like Trey Bryant did last year. And I got to tell you, folks, as we get a foul called, Haynes trying to drive in. These kids nowadays are a little more focused. You know, when you get into a situation where things are not going well and you're at a D1 school, you can humble yourself a little bit coming down to play JUCO basketball. But, you know, it also creates another opportunity, an opportunity to play and an opportunity to eventually end up somewhere that is better suited for you. Baseline jumper by Haynes is no good. And just look at Trey Bryant. He's up there in Maine with his giant heavy parka on, most likely. That'll be a backcourt violation there. Playing D1 basketball again because of the opportunity that Ryan Mantlo gave him at Cape Fear. So Parker, it'll be interesting to see what happens after this season is done. But, I mean, he's got all the talent. He's got all the ability. And now he's going to get a chance to show off what he can do. He's had a good start to the year. Again, take the stats with a grain of salt. 11 points and 35% shooting. But I get the feeling his numbers are a little bit higher than that. Couple of fakes underneath. Shot no good from Johnson. Johnson will go to the line. Nick Johnson had 10 points in the first meeting between these two teams. He's a 72% free throw shooter. 16-8, 13:23 left to go here in this opening half. Chris Sheeman, glad to be with you here for this on-demand broadcast. Thanks for joining us wherever you're watching from. We appreciate it. We will do a couple of Sea Devil games on the road next Thursday and Friday. We're going to be at Brunswick Community College for their invitational, so we'll have that for you. And likely that will be it for this year. We'll talk about that and make an announcement there once we communicate with the coaches and everything. So 2 out of 2 at the line. Just to go back to Parker and finish what I was going to say, you end up in a situation like Parker was in last year at Tennessee where obviously things not going the way that you would like them to go for whatever reason. This is not basketball. This is life in general. When you're 18, 19 years old, you tend to treat those situations, or you can, like it's the end of the world, and you start to panic and you become a head case and you become a problem. That wasn't the problem with Parker. He understood, humbled himself, said, there's an opportunity here in Wilmington for me. I'm going to get to play. I'm going to get to show my skills. It's a really mature thing to do. And a guy like Ryan Matlow knows what it's like. He didn't start D1, but he ended up D1. He played JUCO basketball in Wyoming, of all places. I lived in Wyoming for a year. I'm 5'5". I could play center in Wyoming. Everybody's short there, except for that Johnson kid who went to, I think, Wake Forest and ended up playing in the NBA. But so Ryan Matlow started playing JUCO ball in Wyoming and then got an opportunity at Liberty and led his team to the NCAA tournament. So, things not working out for you. You've got a coach like Ryan Matlow who understands how to make that transition, come play for him, show what you could do, and take some classes. It's a good opportunity. Coming in and driving to the bucket, Eric Fox, and he's fouled. Eric Fox, one of several new players for Matlow's team. I've kind of gotten on my high horse about Parker and his situation, but a lot of good additions. Mentioned Dante Tatum. Matthews, although he redshirted last year, playing his first year of basketball here at Cape Fear. And this young man, Eric Fox, 50% free throw shooter. 19-10, 12:25 left to go here in the opening half. We'll set the 5 on the floor here. Antonio Banner, who was scoreless in the first meeting between these two teams, coming in for Wake Tech. He joins Volkerts and Watkins, also Anumahi and Clements. That's the 5 for Wake Tech. Ryan Matlow shuffling a lot of bodies in and out. He's got Jalen Cameron, number 5, in the backcourt with Tatum. And up front, it's Parker, it's Johnson, Intelligence Johnson, who has the basketball here and took the wild shot. And I'm missing somebody. Dante Tatum is the 5th player on the court for Matlow's team. 20-10, 12:06 left to go. They call the foul on the Sea Devils. That, I believe, is team foul number 2. So Cape Fear will play their home games. Nice defense by Cameron, and he's going to get to the line as a result. I was hoping to make the bucket, but he'll get free throws and have to earn it. Good defense from him. Just 9 home games all year. They'll do 5 in January. Again, all of them played at New Hanover, so come on out and check out the games if you can. It's a nice little gym. It's one of those old school gyms. Got the bucket seats up top with the bleachers down low. Cameron, 62% free throw shooter, gets 1 out of 2, and the lead is 11 for the Sea Devils. 21-10, inside 12 minutes to go, 11:57 to be exact, here in this first half. That's a steal, almost a steal. It was deflected, but Watkins stays with it. Volkerts drives in and draws another foul. So Eddie Volkerts, 74% free throw shooter. Volkert's one of the lone players from out of state for Wake Tech. He's from New London, Connecticut. Head coach Adam Wainwright, his second year at Wake Tech. He's an assistant at Barton College a couple of different times, most recently from 2014 to 2016. He was also at Sandhills Community College, so he knows JUCO basketball, and he knows the state of North Carolina and South Carolina as well. Good man to have for Wake Tech. 21-12, the lead is 9 for your Sea Devils. Cape Fear averaging 80.6 points per game, so not as high octane as last year, but the competition has been very difficult. Parker top of the key. Fox for three, got it to go. Fox came in averaging just 1.8 points. He's got 5 already in the first half, and again, Cape Fear doubling up Wake Tech by 12. Shot in and out on the floater by Clements. Ball deflected around. Watkins has it. Watkins threw it, and it's going to go into the backcourt, so Cape Fear will get it on another turnover. Wake Tech had a bad loss on Monday. 42 points at Fayetteville Tech. They got blown out. They beat Fayetteville Tech by 11 back in the middle part of November on the 15th. Parker on the right wing. Parker looking for a screen, swings it to Cameron. Cameron right around the defense. Throw it down. Jalen Cameron. He's from the PD area, Florence, South Carolina. Good find by Parker. Here's Clements. Watkins triggers the three, grazes the rim, that's all. Ball deflected out. Watkins extra possession drives in, and that shot was blocked. Out of bounds. Caleb Sampson coming in, the sophomore from Brooklyn, New York for Wake Tech. Eagles go back on the road on Saturday, their third straight on the road, taking on Bryan and Stratton at 3 p.m. Good offensive rebounding, but Wake Tech is cold right now. Cameron alley-oop. Oh, just threw Johnson, or he was going to throw that down. Ryan Matlow bringing in the farm here. James Moore coming back in. Also, number 32 is Ryan Friday. Number 24 is Shaft Parker, one of the few returners from last year's team. Zaquan Matthews back out there as well for the Sea Devils. And who am I missing? I'm missing somebody. Alston Davis, he came back in as well. It's the Sea Devils and the Eagles here in Wilmington. 10 minutes left to go here in the opening half, and Cape Fear leads by 14. Foul on Wake Tech is called on Sampson. So 10:03 left to go, and called that on Wake Tech. It was on Cape Fear. So shot clock reset to 20. That's one of the new rule changes for the men this year. If the clock is below 20 and there's a dead ball or foul, it will be reset to 20. 3 ball with the shot clock winding down. Volkerts buries it as he stays hot against these Sea Devils. That was the first field goal in a while for Wake Tech. Matthews. Friday. Right around the defense. No challenge there. Good job by the Sea Devils attacking the basket, recognizing that they've got the numbers and the opportunity to do that. Clements, it's going to be deflected off Cape Fear. 9:11 left to go. Ryan Matlow, season 10 for him. 4-time Region 10 champions in 10 years at Cape Fear. Made it to the national tournament a few times as well. Shot clock at 12. Deep three by Volkerts. You can't blame him. Nobody else is making a shot, but that one might have been a little too quick on the shot clock. Matthews for 3 off the back of the rim. Rebound controlled by Banner for Wake Tech. Volkerts Banner, corner jumper, no. Moore, the rebound. Moore off the bench, 4.8 points and 4 rebounds per game. Good production in the second unit. Running and gunning the Sea Devils. Unselfish basketball. Davis from Matthews. 30-15. The Sea Devils doubling up Wake Tech again. Volkerts drives in, swings it out. Banner. Sampson. 8:07 left to go here in the opening half. Ball deflected, taken away. Matthews going coast to coast and throws it down with a two-hand jam. Timeout by Wake Tech. We will step aside. 7:58 left to go here in the opening half, and the Sea Devils lead by 17. Well, there you saw the next broadcast. Those will be live games to Cape Fear at the Brunswick Holiday Classic on Thursday and Friday, both of those times at 7 p.m. Cape Fear will play at Johnston Community College this Friday, just up the road in between here and Raleigh, give or take. Look like steps. Instead, it's a turnover for Wake Tech out of the timeout. Pull up. Good by Parker. Shaft Parker, we remember Shaft from last year. 7 points per game this year, the sophomore. Clements driving in, blocked but fouled, and he will go to the line. 7:30 left to go here in this opening half. Chris Sheeman, glad to be with you. Sea Devils and the Eagles for the second time this season. Cape Fear won 88-80 up in Raleigh. Carnell Watkins had 3 points in the loss. 63% free throw shooter goes to the line. Freshman from right there in Raleigh. 34-16 now. Antonio Banner will come out. Watkins gets them both. Cape Fear 34, Wake Tech 17 with 7:25 to play here in this opening half. It's been zone throughout for the Eagles, and Cape Fear has had no trouble with it. Alston Davis the turnaround. 36-17. Sea Devils are battle tested. I mentioned they played a tough start of the season schedule. Their first 10 games going up against top 20 programs and strong programs that usually make it to the national tournaments. They went up to Monroe College, went 2-1 this past weekend. They won over Hartford 75-71. Sea Devils forced 25 turnovers in that game. Friday they won 106-68 against Baltimore City. And then Saturday they lost against the host Monroe. There is a surprising amount of good junior college basketball all over the state of New York, not just in New York City. And I'm not sure if it's because they recruit, the farm schools go into the Big Apple and do a lot of recruiting there, or what the reason is, but there's a lot of strong, good basketball in the state of New York. at the JUCO level, but really at all levels. 1 out of 2 at the line. The lead is 20 for the Sea Devils. Clements will back it out. Sea Devils, I mentioned, at Johnston Community College on Friday. That's a first-year program. So assuming Sea Devils can keep the pressure up on Wake Tech, might get a couple of easy ones. Wild shot there by Sampson. Good defense by Moore. Here comes Cape Fear now. Matthews swings it over to Friday. Parker for 3. Can't get it. Skying for the rebound, Johnson. 6:07 left to go here in the opening half. The lead remains 20. Clements. Volkerts from Steph Curry range. Can't get it to go. Rebound by Telemark. Jadler Telemark. And God knows I probably didn't get that right, but it's his first game of the season, so we weren't expecting to see him. He's from Port-au-Prince, Haiti. Another turnover. Out on the run, Matthews has to chase it down, but he stepped on the line. 5 new bodies coming in for the Sea Devils. Jarek Haynes, Dante Tatum, Parker is back out there, also Fox. And also Telligence Johnson, he's number 22 from Fayetteville. And foul there as Volkerts was looking to push. 5:28 left to go, 40-19. Sea Devils have been in control since the opening tip. Christian, glad to be with you. Thanks for watching on demand. The most dedicated folks always watch the on-demand broadcast, so appreciate you being out there. Sorry we couldn't bring it to you live. Clements drives, draws contact, can't get the bucket, but he'll shoot a couple of free throws. Corin Clements, good assist man. He's 15th in Division II, 6.2 assists on the season per game for Clements. He had 14 against Lenore back on November 29th. He gets that free throw to go. Both are good. He is 19 now. 40-21, 5:14 left to play in the opening half. Ball deflected. And it's going to be last touched by the Sea Devils. So at halftime, we'll take the break because it's an on-demand broadcast. All you have to do is fast forward through it or speed ahead. I'll put a graphic up, a halftime graphic. So all you need to do is speed through that halftime graphic, and once you see that go away, just kind of click on the bottom of the YouTube video player. If you're watching on a Roku or something, all you have to do is just fast forward until the graphic goes away, the halftime graphic. Punched away on the inbound. Parker almost had a steal. Good job by Volkerts to stay with it. That's a backcourt violation, though. Sloppy play for Wake Tech here tonight. Carnell Watkins checking back in, and he'll replace Sampson. Tatum directing traffic. Dante Tatum, 7 rebounds, 5 assists per game. Miscommunication there. Hayes and Johnson were not in sync. So back-to-back turnovers for Cape Fear here. Clements will back it out near midcourt. Watkins drives in. It's poked away. Good defense by Johnson. Tatum outlet to Parker, no, but it's followed up by Johnson. It was Tatum, excuse me, who gets credit with that bucket. It's hard to see the 22 and 23. Cape Fear's got those white numbers with just that little black outline. Steal by Johnson. Throws full court. Bad pass. Volkerts comes up with it. Volkerts bounce passes it to the cutter Clemens. Extra pass to Johnson, but they're going to get a blocking foul underneath. And it's going to be called on Eric Fox. And they'll say they're going to give Clements 2 free throws. He's a good free throw shooter, 85% at the line. No, it was a 1-and-1. They said 2 shots, but it was a 1-and-1. So Wake Tech is in the bonus over the final 3:46. Driving in, drawing contact, Sea Devils. And I believe that's Tatum. Dante Tatum, 64% free throw shooter. Mentioned it earlier, 28 points in the first meeting between these two teams for Tatum. Short on that free throw. Tatum leads his team in rebounds and assists and scoring as well, I believe. Again, we don't have full accurate stats for all 10 games for Cape Fear. Turning on the Jets is Clements, and another foul is called, so he'll go to the line for 2. Clements had 15 points in the first meeting between these two teams. Rims in that free throw. 3:39 left to play here in this opening half. Jalen Cameron coming in for Cape Fear. Had a high-flying dunk earlier in this first half. (43-23) now. Parker into the forecourt. Again, it's been the zone for most, if not all, of the night for Wake Tech. And it works that time. Anumahi comes off the bench and gets the steal. Anumahi, 3 double-doubles. Good rebounder. Now numbers. Parker with the steal. Alley-oop to Parker, throwing it down. Good pass by Jarek Haynes. And Parker with the highlight dunk. Not going to be able to do that, and you didn't get the opportunity to do that in Knoxville. Another foul on Cape Fear. 3:02 left to go, and it's the 10th team foul. So Volkert, 74% free throw shooter at the line for 2. Free throw shooting has helped Wake Tech just kind of hang around and get some points. They have struggled offensively here today, but connecting at the free throw line, and it's 45-25 with 2:59 left to go here in this opening half. Parker again directing traffic. Johnson. Johnson is through the hands of Haynes. 5 new players in for Cape Fear. It will be 32 Friday, 35 more. Matthews, number 2, also back out there, as is Parker, number 4, Davis, number 4, Parker, number 24. And I think that covers everybody. 5 on the floor for Wake Tech. Watkins and Clements in the backcourt, along with Volkerts, and up front it's Johnson and Anumahi, basically the starters for Wake Tech. 2:24 left to go, 9 on the shot clock for the Eagles. Volkerts is cut off on the baseline. Top of the key, Clements steps into a three with the shot clock winding down. Had to take the shot, couldn't get it to go. Matthews into the forecourt. It's it back from Davis. Davis, corner three, can't get it. Rebound controlled by Wake Tech. Clements now. Volkert's top of the key. Swings it over to Watkins. Anumahi. Johnson called for steps. So the turnover, the ball goes back to Cape Fear. They continue their 20-point advantage. Cape Fear has led from wire to wire so far in this one. 1:34 left to play in the opening half. Matthews for three, yes. Zaquan Matthews, I believe that's his third three-pointer of the evening. Offensive foul is going to be called on Volkerts as Friday took the charge. So Sea Devils get it back here with 1:19 left to play in the opening half. Sea Devils back on the road, returning home just once in the month of December. 9 home games overall. The most will be in January. They'll play 5. Again, all of them here at New Hanover. Matthews, Parker gets the high pass, takes it left of the lane, back to Matthews. Parker again, inside 1 minute to go, and 10 on the shot clock now for Cape Fear. Good defense by Clements with the steal and the easy bucket. 48-27 now. Boy, Ryan Matlow ran right over to the official there. Into the forecourt, the Sea Devils. Not sure what his gripe was, but he is hot. Davis, ball deflected. Friday comes up with it, dribbles in. Open look for Parker, missed it long, and they're gonna get an over the back call on Matthews. It's not called over the back anymore, but that's what it is, essentially. So more free throws to come on this end of the court. 21.8 left on the game clock. Again, at halftime, we'll take a break. If you're watching on your laptop or on your phone, just speed ahead. I'll have a little halftime graphic that I'll put up when that goes away. That means it's time for the start of the second half. If you're watching on a Roku or Chromecast or anything like that, just hit the fast forward button and we'll leave that graphic up for the duration of the half. Anumahi unable to get it to go, and Cape Fear can hold for the final shot here. 14 seconds left to go. Friday out near midcourt. 7 seconds. Scoops it over to Parker, 5 seconds. Now Matthews with 3, can't get it to go. Ball deflected up, it's punched up by Davis, and unable to get it to go, but Cape Fear with a good first 20 minutes as they pull out to a 21-point advantage, 48-27. Again, we'll take a break for the halftime, folks. Second half is coming up here in just a little bit. Second half underway. Chris Shima glad to be back with you as Cape Fear takes a 48-27 lead into the final 20 minutes of action. Zaquan Matthews leading all scorers with 13 points at the half, and Cape Fear leading from start to finish here today at New Hanover High School, although they turned the ball over on the first possession here of this second half. Underneath, Anumahi trying for the putback, couldn't get it to go. Extra possession again for Wake Tech. A wild shot by Clements. Out on the run is Tatum. Tatum with the hop, step, and bucket. Cape Fear 50-27 here in the opening minute of the second half. Wake Tech 0-1 against Cape Fear this year, losing 88-80 at home. Since 2012-2013, Cape Fear is 8-2 in the last 10 meetings with the Eagles. One of those losses was a forfeit. The last Wake Tech win on the court came back on December 7th, 2012, when they won 59-57 in Wilmington. Tatum getting the screen. Dante Tatum pushes the lead out to 23. And that's going to be Cape Fear ball. So the Sea Devils coming in at 5-5. Wake Tech 6-3. Both of these schools are Region 10 members. However, Cape Fear Division 1 and Wake Tech Division 2, so it's a non-conference game. Moore, ball deflected out. Here's Matthews. Plenty of time on the shot clock, and underneath we're going to have a foul called on Wake Tech. So first foul of the second half comes at the 18-17 mark. Dante Tatum, again the inbound it for Cape Fear. And they're going to reset the shot clock to 20. Matthews, 3 3-pointers in the first half. Over to Hayes. Haynes out on the court with Tatum and Matthews, Moore and Davis. Those are your starters. Same starters as the first half. Another turnover by the Sea Devils. Volkert's out on the run. Rejected by Tatum from behind, and Moore ran out of real estate as he stepped out of bounds. So it will be Wake Tech basketball, but the hustle points nonetheless from Cape Fear. I don't believe there's any change for Adam Wainwright's team either. Wake Tech starting Watkins, Clements, Johnson, Anumahi, Volkert. $17:55 left to go in the ball game. Cape Fear looking to go to 6-5. You usually don't see them hovering around the 500 mark, especially under Ryan Mantlow, but they have played a brutal schedule. 3 games against tough opponents up in New York. They went 2-1 in that. So the shot clock did not reset. They've got it at 24 as the inbound is taken. And that was the discussion by the officials. Watkins. Anumahi pull up from the baseline as an air ball. Tatum the rebound. Tatum is fouled. So 2 quick fouls on Wake Tech here with 17:35 left to go here in this second half. Sea Devils going back on the road on Friday of this week. They will take on Johnston Community College, who is a first-year program. Then they'll be at the Brunswick Holiday Classic next Thursday, Friday, and Saturday And we will have the games for you on Thursday and Friday. Both of those games tip at 7 p.m. Clements, no, and Numahi can't get the tip. Rebound controlled by Moore. 3 ball in the corner off the mark by Davis. Wake Tech can start hitting some shots here. They could get that in it. They have just been ice cold shooting. Mentioned they're coming off a surprise 40-plus point blowout loss against Fayetteville Tech on Monday. Good defense from Watkins, and then he's fouled from behind. That's the first team foul on Cape Fear with 16:34 left to go here in the game. So Clements will inbound it. Eddie Volkerts, who had 26 in the 8-point loss against Cape Fear back on November 6th. Good first half for him as he gets it underneath. Nick Johnson blocked but stays with it. Johnson falling down. Threw it back, and Volkerts is there. Mostly freshmen on the roster for Wake Tech. Just two sophomores, as Adam Wainwright in his second year starts to put his imprint on this Wake Tech Eagles team. I mentioned their Division II, Cape Fear Division I, so even though it's a Region 10 meeting, it's not a Region 10 game, as Matthews connects once again from behind the arc. 55-29. Cape Fear by 26. Volkerts. Clements looking underneath, ball deflected, and it's a steal for Moore. Here comes the Sea Devils. Haynes to the bucket, nifty moves. 57-29, 15:30 left to play in the ball game. Clements, strong move to the bucket, and he answers right back. Ryan Matlow, who's been subbing 5 at a time, will bring in a fresh 5 here 5 minutes into this second half. Haynes driving in, the bounce pass goes nowhere. Miscommunication, Clements with the steal. Out to Volkerts, and a late whistle. Foul is called. That'll be the second here in the second half on Cape Fear. Tatum picking up his third. So Volkerts back at the line, 74% free throw shooter on the season. Volkerts connects on the first there. Shav Parker coming into the game. Also Quay Parker, Eric Fox, Jalen Cameron, Intelligence Johnson. So those are the 5 that Ryan Matlow sends in here with 15:04 mark of the second half. Volkerts gets the second to go. 57-33. It's the Sea Devils and Eagles lone home game for Cape Fear here at New Hanover High School in the month of December. 9 home games is all they'll play overall, as the redesign and the remodel of the gym on the campus of Cape Fear is underway, and brand new facility, refurbished facility for you next year to go check them out. Cameron to inbound, quick 3 by Parker, got it to go. Well, there's some of that skill that we've seen from Parker that had him so highly touted in high school. I mentioned he played with Harry Giles, and one of the stars who's at NC State in high school. 12 on the shot clock. Here's Watkins. Clements with 7 to shoot, banks it off the glass. Nice shot by Corin Clements. Clements averaging just under 19 points per game. He's 15th in assists in Division II at 6.2. Parker again, not that time. Rebound controlled by Volkerts. Throws it full court, and they're going to get Parker on the foul call. And it'll be 3 on Cape Fear. 13:48 left to play in the ball game. Antonio Banner coming in, the freshman from Greensboro for Wake Tech. Nick Johnson sitting down. Clements to inbound it. Wake Tech from the Raleigh area. Volkerts for 3, yes. Volkerts had 26. One of 4 players in double figures the first time these two teams met. Already in double figures here. 7.5 minutes into this second half. Steal by Volkerts. He's played pretty well defensively as well for the Eagles. Ball deflected. Parker takes it away. Parker 1-on-2, and he'll go to the line. Parker 80% free throw shooter so far this season. So the top 3 scorers for Ryan Matlow's team, all newcomers. Parker Matthews and Dante Tatum leading all scorers. Parker gets the first to go. .09 left to go here in the ball game. Both teams, I believe, with 3 team fouls now. Playing in a high school facility, we don't have the luxury of having the team fouls. Volkerts for 3 off the side of the rim. Rebound controlled by Banner. Watkins to the bucket, draws the foul on Fox. So Watkins will go to the line. Watkins, that's the 4th already on Cape Fear here with 12:50 to go in the ball game. Be interested to see when the box score comes out. The free throws in this game have really helped Wake Tech out. Their offense has struggled, but they've been forcing the action. We told you at the beginning of the broadcast back in the first half, they lead Division II in free throw attempts and makes. Timeout. We'll step aside with 12:50 left to go here in the ball game, and Cape Fear in control. Back in Wilmington, 12:50 left to go in the ball game, and 62-40 is your score. Chris Sheeman, glad to be back. Thanks for checking out this on-demand broadcast. It's the Sea Devils and the Eagles for the second and final time this season. Alley-oop off the mark, but guess who was home? Jalen Cameron His eyes lit up when he saw that pass off the mark. Said, that's coming right to me. Go get it, young man. 3 ball is good by Volkerts as he quiets the home crowd briefly here. They are active defensively, Wake Tech. They are all over. Johnson, the offensive rebound, but he shuffled his feet. Wake Tech came in averaging 10 steals per game, 4.6 blocks. Forcing turnovers here. So we're 8 minutes into the second half now. 11:58 left to play in the ball game. Cape Fear in control. Can Wake Tech get a run going here? There's a 3 rimmed in by Clements. So this is the first time in a long time that the lead has been less than 20. Parker over to Cameron. Johnson to the bucket, and he draws the foul. So both teams now with, I believe, 4 team fouls. Intelligence Johnson, a 50% free throw shooter. One of the many newcomers for Cape Fear this year. Used to be that junior college coaches had the tough job. They had to recruit every couple of years. Guys have shorter lifespan, but the way college basketball is anymore, especially at the Division I level, so many one and dones, you're almost recruiting like a JUCO coach at that level. 66-46 is the correct score on your screen. 11:24 left to go in the game. Watkins double teamed, and it's taken away by Parker underneath Johnson for 2. Intelligence Johnson connecting. Clements now. Some trapping pressure shown by Cape Fear. Clements draws the foul, and that is number 5 or 6 on the Sea Devils. So we're at New Hanover High School here in Wilmington. That's where Cape Fear will be playing its home games this year. I saw it. Old school Charlotte Hornets jersey. Kenny Gaddison previously played here at New Hanover. Good athletic programs. I believe their football team is in the state championship game. On the alley-oop, Banner goes to the line, a 76% free throw shooter. And I believe Wake Tech, it might be in the bonus at this point with 11 minutes still to go in the game. Subs coming in. Alston Davis returning for Cape Fear. Number 2 is Caleb Sampson for Wake Tech. First free throw grazes the rim, that's all. I don't know if you can hear her, but the trash-talking fan is back. She was at every home game last year. Nice putback by Anumahi. Again, he's a double-double guy, so got to box him out, especially on the free throws. Parker turns it over, upset with himself. Numbers for Wake Tech, and good job by Cameron to deflect the ball out of bounds. 10:42 left to go here in the game. So Clements will inbound it. Once you hear the trash-talking fan, it's all you can hear. Here's Sampson. Banner. I believe she's a Cape Fear alumni. The local news here in Wilmington did a story on her. Comes to every game and gives it to the other team. It's all clean and it's all in good fun, but it is consistent. Shaft Parker trying to go coast to coast, blows the layup. Clements bounce passes it away. Johnson throws full court. Here's Cameron. Set out. Parker can't get it to rim in. And Numahi, another rebound for him. Volkert's Banner steps to the left. The three in and out. Ball tipped. Clements offensive rebound. Numahi no. Numahi stays with it again. And he'll back it out. Here's Volkerts for three. Missed it off the back of the rim. This is just the kind of night it's been for Wake Tech. Numahi, yes. But if you give even a coldest shooting team 4 or 5 offensive rebounds in one series, they're going to make a bucket. So 9:20 left to go. 68-50. Wake trying to hang around, trying to make a run. Cape Fear is going to bring in some new bodies at the next dead ball. Catch and shoot. Parker can't get the three to go. And Numahi, another rebound. He might have a double-double just in this half alone. Clements, top of the key three. Yes. And a timeout by Ryan Mantlow as Wake Tech has started to make some noise in this one. It's down to 15. 8:52 left to go. We'll be right back. $8:52 left to play. Cape Fear's lead has been cut down to 15. They have led by 20 plus for most of the night, but Wake Tech starting to make a run here. New players in for Cape Fear are Tatum and Haynes. Also Friday, Moore, and I believe Davis. There's Davis pull up in and out. Offensive rebound by Moore. He tried to volleyball it in, finally gathered it, got it to go. In transition, that shot is rejected. Tatum, Cape Fear's got a 4-on-3 here. Turning on the Jets is Parker, gets it underneath, unable to get it to go was Moore, and then we have another foul on the Sea Devils. And I believe that's team foul number 7 or 8, so it's a 1-and-1 situation for Wake Tech and Antonio Banner. Banner, as I mentioned earlier in the broadcast, a 76% free throw shooter. Missed the front end. Good job by Haynes boxing out the shooter. Alley-oop, trying to throw it down, unable to get it to go was Moore. Out in transition, it's Volkerts, can't get it to go. Rebound by Jarek Haynes. Haynes in transition, rejected out of bounds. 7:47 left to go. And Ryan Mantlow is giving it to the officials again. He's been begging for a technical foul all day, and I think he's pretty close to getting one. So, a timeout. We will step aside, and we'll be right back. 7:47 left to go in the ball game. Cape Fear in control. Although Wake Tech not going quietly here. Krishima, glad to be back with you here in Wilmington. On the inbound, step back from Tatum, missed it long, and the rebound controlled again by Anumahi. Underneath Bonner, and it's deflected out. I believe they called Cape Fear with yet another foul, though. You know, I kind of get why Ryan Mantlow's so hot. There's been everything called on this end, and not getting a lot of calls on the other end. More free throws to come. I believe this is still a 1-and-1 for Antonio Banner. It is, and he missed it. So Wake Tech can't capitalize. Here comes Cape Fear now. 7:30 left to go in the ball game. Cape Fear has led since the opening tip. Davis to the bucket, floats it up. Can't get the friendly rim, got the putback and the foul. So there's one of those calls that Coach Matlow was politicking. He's still politicking. Oh, coaches should run for office after they're done coaching, shouldn't they? They are one and the same, ladies and gentlemen. One and the same. There it is. I told you it was coming. So, technical foul called on Ryan Matlow to the surprise of nobody, and it'll be 2 free throws to come for Wake Tech, and then Alston Davis will try to complete the old school 3-point play. That goes as a team foul too, so I believe Wake Tech is in the double bonus now, although again I'm just kind of doing it in my head. So Corian Clements will shoot 2 shots. The best at getting technicals was always Phil Jackson, because Phil Jackson, you know, the Zen master, he would sit there for 40 minutes, and then all of a sudden he wouldn't move, and then you can see his face getting bright red, and he would just get up off his chair, and you knew what was coming. It was always quick with Phil. So 1 out of 2 on the technical free throws, and now it's Davis. He'll complete the old school 3-point play. Of course, Bobby Knight. Bobby Knight was just a nut. I've noticed now, second year working for Cape Fear, Matlow likes to build towards it. So 73-54 is the correct score on your screen as Cape Fear gets the turnover now. Pass underneath by Tatum was short for Davis, and luckily Wake Tech was out of bounds. So, no, now they change it. So it is a turnover. Wake Tech will get it back. Wake Tech Eagles, that bounce pass deflected off of Friday, and the second half has certainly been sloppy at times, I think is putting it mildly. 6:56 left to go. So there was a shot clock issue, and it's going to be set at 14. So Clements will inbound it. Here's Volkerts for 3. Can't get it to go. Rebound by Haynes. Parker alley-oop. Oh, Tatum tried to throw it down. He's fouled, though. He'll go to the line. Last year, Cape Fear went 24-8. They fell to Spartanburg Methodist, that strong program in the Region 10 semis. Third straight season last year with 24 wins. They reached the Division I National Tournament, as I mentioned, in 2014-2015. Tougher schedule this year for Cape Fear. I used to go on the road with one of the teams that I used to work for back in Ohio, and they had a renovation where they had to go on the road quite a bit. And when you play that many games on the road, you find out if you really like your team or not. 3-ball, open look by Friday. Ryan Friday shooting 71% from behind the arc. Now, granted, that's in limited stats, but still, you do not leave him wide open. Another foul is called as the whistles start to pile up. 6:20 left to go, and this game has stalled. This is college basketball, though, and it's frustrating for the coaches, but this is not the officials' fault. This is how it's been directed that it be called, and I complain about it in every broadcast, but that's what basketball is now. It's constant fouls. Everything. You can't play defense anymore, really. The hand check and the body check, even I've seen it called more times than not, just somebody trying to back away. But if they're in the air and the offensive player throws themselves into them, they're going to get the foul called. It's ridiculous. The NCAA has to do something about that because every level adopts it. So we're all playing whatever rules they come up with. And it's turned a game of college basketball into garbage. Friday. Traveling is the call. 6:02 left to go, and a turnover. Wake Tech cut it as close to 15 here in the second half. Running and gunning, Wake Tech, and more fouls called. Well, Wake Tech's been in the double bonus for some time. So we almost played 30 seconds without a foul. Bonner for 2 gets the first one to go. Wake Tech, the Eagles, on Saturday go to Bryant and Stratton up in Virginia at 3 p.m. Then they're off until the 16th when they host Patrick Henry at 3 p.m. Cape Fear, as I mentioned, they're right back on the road to close out 2017. Friday, they're at Johnston Community College, first-year program up there, just up the road. And then next Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, they're at the Brunswick Holiday Classic. We will have live broadcasts on Thursday and Friday, both of those games at 7. Chattanooga States and Bryant and Stratton will be the opponents for Cape Fear. Not sure which days. 10 to shoot. 3 ball off the back of the rim by Haynes. Tatum, the rebound, can't get it to go as it went halfway down, bounced out. Banner the rebound. Banner waits for Clements. Clements to the bucket, yes. And it's 15 again, so this is as close as Wake Tech has been since, or tying as close as they've been here in the second half. See if they can get a stop here and make things a little more interesting. Now 5 minutes to go in the game. Zaquan Matthews answers right back. Look out. Clements lost it out of bounds. He was politicking for a foul called. Unable to get it. Matthews, Haynes, turnaround shot by, that was Moore, excuse me, lost the number for a minute, didn't get it to go. Nearing 4.5 to play. Wake Tech needs to get a run together here. 14 on the shot clock, stepping into a 3, Clements off the back of the rim. That's not the shot you want. Friday off the tip. He'll back it out now. Good job by Wake Tech getting back on defense. Here's Matthews for 3. Not that time. He's been hot from behind the arc here tonight, though. Zaquan Matthews unable to get it to go. 3:57 left to play in the game. Numahi from the elbow, no, and Matthews the board. Tatum. Matthews the extra pass. Driving on the reverse. Haynes no good, but he'll go to the free throw line. 3:46 left to play, and I believe both teams are in the bonus now. That's 5, I believe, personals as well. So the day has come to an end for Christian Anumahi. Good day for him nonetheless. Working the glass. First free throw no good from Haynes. That's the first miss as far as we know. Again, we don't have all the stats from all the games, but Jarek Haynes prior to that attempt was 23 out of 23. Missed them both there though. 3:42 left to go. Clements will get a timeout. So timeout by the Eagles. We go away again. 3:38 remaining in the contest. Cape Fear looking for win number 6 and on their way. We'll be back. .338 left to play in the ball game, and Cape Fear, who has led since the opening tip, leading by 17. Clements will inbound it. Friday guarding the inboundee. Volkerts, one of the few hot hands today for the Eagles. Sampson. Guarded by Haynes. Now Volkerts, 9 to shoot, steps inside the arc. Short on the jumper, Friday the rebound, throws it full court and too high for more. It's been a turnover-heavy game. Clements to the bucket, yes, and the foul. Corin Clements will go to the line, try to complete the old school three-point play. And again, the lead is down to 15. A couple of subs coming in. Cameron checks in. Intelligence Johnson also out there. And that free throw is good. So this is as close as Wake Tech has been since probably midway through the first half. Inside 3 minutes to go, 2:57 to be exact. That three ball is long. Chasing it down was Johnson, couldn't get the bucket. Ball tipped out. Tatum has it now. Open look for Matthews for three, no. Cape Fear's cooled off here in this second half a little bit. 2:37 left to go. Clements scoops it up, no. That shot was altered by Johnson. Haynes had to be helped up. Meanwhile, running and gunning is Tatum. The find from Matthews. And the lead back to 16. So Cape Fear is going to go to 6-5 on the season. Wake Tech will lose back-to-back games for just the first time all year and go to 6-4. Driving in, count it, and the foul. Like what I've seen from Clements here today. He's a baller, man. He'll go to the line, try to complete the old school three-point play with 2:09 left to play. And he does. So 81-68, 2:09 left to go. Wake Tech hanging around here as they call for time. We'll step aside again. Sea Devils basketball, they lead it by 13. Krishima, glad to be back with you. 2:07 remaining in the ball game. Cape Fear on their way to a 6-5 record, barring a colossal collapse here. Although, credit Wake Tech, they have not made things easy. Haynes right to the bucket and the foul. And that might be the final nail in this one. Wake Tech. Back on the road next weekend. Jarek Haynes tried to redeem himself at the line. He missed a couple just moments ago. Short again. Rebound controlled by Banner. So the lead is 15, 1:47 left to play in the game. Clements to the bucket, missed it short. Rebound controlled by Matthews. Here's Johnson into the forecourt. Johnson to the bucket. Johnson, yes. That was 85-68. That ball deflected out. Last touch by the Sea Devils. 1:27 left to go. Sampson. Volkerts is fouled. So he will go to the line and shoot a couple with 1:25 remaining. So the Sea Devils, 6th win of the season when this final 1:25 ticks away, and a third of those, or excuse me, 2 of the 6, that is a third, 1/3 of them coming against Wake Tech. Should be an easy game on Friday against Johnston Community College. Mentioned they're in their first year there, Region 10 Division III opponent on the road for Ryan Matlow's team. Matthews with little sprinkles on the Sunday and what will be a Cape Fear victory. Clements not quitting. I love it. Deflected out. Banner inside 1 minute to go. Clements trying for the step back. Credit Haynes. Good defense. And Wake Tech has to call another timeout. So one more time, I think we will go away. We'll come right back. Wake Tech will have 9 on the shot clock out of the timeout. 51.8 on the game clock. Cape Fear, first home game of the season, playing at New Hanover here in Wilmington this year, and they will get their first home victory of the year. 3 to shoot. Wake Tech's not aware of it, and they're not going to get it off in time. Great defense by the Sea Devils on that sequence. So 10-second difference between game and shot clock. Sea Devils will have to take one shot here. Tatum to the bucket and another foul. So Tatum goes to the line. Dante Tatum, 64% free throw shooter. .32 seconds left to go. And that free throw no good. Couple of subs for Wake Tech. Dylan Paskowitz coming into the game, number 12, and number 15, Jodler Tulamok, the Haitian. One out of two for Jarek. And the lead back to 20, 89-69. Clements, steal by Cameron, and Cape Fear can run it out if they choose to do so. And it looks like they will. So Cape Fear will go to 6-5. Wake Tech falls to 6-4. For Wake Tech, they're at Bryan and Stratton Saturday at 3. For Cape Fear, back on the road, go the Sea Devils. They head to Johnston Community College Friday. And our next broadcast, again, will be next Thursday and Friday. Cape Fear at the Brunswick Holiday Classic. So we'll have those for you again. That will be live. Thanks for watching, everybody. Once again, your final. Cape Fear 89, Wake Tech 69. Take care. We'll talk to you again next week.